taste of the week?
There you go.
Prosser Farm, Jackie Cross.
Jackie Cross, Prosser Farm. You know, I've been looking for peach because I love to can peach, but there hasn't been any good peaches lately.
Have you been to the Met Market?
I've tried like, I'm talking like the perfect peach.
And then you're going to do that canning to it? That's just not right. Perfect peach
No,
you should
jam,
eat.
Jam.
Perfect peach you should eat.
Well, no, I agree. But when you have a lot, when they're good, you buy a lot, and then you have to jam.
Yes,
I
sir.
jam in chunks.
Yes, sir.
So you can taste it in the winter. You smash that on top of your perfectly good country bread with butter, and you
Taste summer in the winter.
Love that. Okay, are we live? Hey, good morning, YouTubers. How many people?
Good morning.
Is there anybody?
Not even.
3 so far, but
Oh,
it picks up. You know, we just started.
oh yeah.
We're kind of on a home day.
Kind of, as in completely.
Boy, a double this week for our YouTube audience today and tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's true. Did you want some, Tom?
Of course, I want some.
It's really good. But I think this year, all the fruits. I was at blueberry picking 2 days
That's
ago.
when you know it's perfectly right.
Yeah. I was blueberry picking at a farm in Monroe
That is delicious.
2 days ago. And it was slim picking, man.
A little late in the season.
Well,
Ooh, that was good. Perfect acid balance,
Yeah.
not too sweet.
sugar, everything is perfect.
Yeah. You ready to go, Sean? Feeling it? Feeling it.
Getting it.
Welcome to the Hot Stove Society Show on Cairo Radio. My name is Tom Douglas. Thanks for jumping in with us this week. We're here every Saturday and Sunday from the Hot Stove Society, which is in the beautiful Hotel Andra, downtown Seattle, 4th and Virginia. We're glad that you are picking us up either in your backyard, in your car, in your kitchen, on a podcast. You can be picking us up all over all the time. So
Or
if you
watch
miss us
us
on the
right now.
weekend, or you can watch us on YouTube channel, which is at Tom Douglas and Co. And we're happy that you're here. Hello, Chef.
Good morning, Tom. I'm Terry Roturo, the chef in the hat, and here every week with you. And this week we're taping a little bit early, but it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I know what your taste of the week is going to be because I just ate a bite of it, and I'm so like my mouth is just loving that peach.
This is quite essential. Late August of Seattle, Washington. This is why we live here.
Awesome. Hey, our producer is here, Pamela Hinckley. Welcome, Pamela.
Are,
Sean,
are you back from your beating from last week?
Yes, I could face you.
in case you
After that terrible defeat.
in case you weren't listening or watching last week, Pamela was tricked into taking the Food for Thought Tasty Trivia Challenge. You know, normally she administers the test with great gusto,
And she enjoys.
and she loves beating us down into the ground, like squish with a thumb on top. But last week we tricked her, and she had to take the test. And what was your score, Pam? I don't think so. I think you went over, if I'm not mistaken. I think I
Oh,
remember.
she had one.
You gave me a clue.
I gave her.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Big show today. A couple of things I wanted to mention, though. If you go to Bartell Drugs right now, they have our ancho molasses barbecue sauce on sale and a couple of rubs from the Rub with Love product line. So check out your local Bartell's. I know it's not where you kind of expect to find
I know.
Rub with Love, but it's been in there for years, and they're a great customer. So we'd love you to go support them. That would be awesome. 'Tis the season for gloriously ripe tomatoes. We have a couple of thoughts on that, both using them raw and using them cooked. So many reasons to freeze your citrus peel
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, I watch it every day here in class as people just when they squeeze a lime or something, they just squeeze away, throw away the whole thing, and it's that lemon peel, that lime peel, it's all good in multiple areas.
I've been fighting that battle for a few years now.
Yeah. Love the Land fundraiser for Washington Farmland Trust. We're going to let you know how you can help save some of the local farmland here in Washington State. Favorite desserts with plums and peaches. Our peach trees, we had the sad story that we have 3 peach trees in our orchard over in Prosser. And we had the sad story that one tree was right perfectly ready. Jackie looked at it with the farm hands on Friday. She says, those are going to be ready Monday morning. We're going to go out and pick Monday morning. She goes out to the tree, and every last peach was stolen from the tree.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. So, but our other 2 peach trees are just starting to come in, and you're eating one of them right
It is
now.
my taste of the week, 100%.
Yeah, it's quite spectacular.
This is why peaches are so magnificent of a fruit, because there is such a thing as the perfect time.
And the
that's
perfect peach, yeah.
And the perfect peach. And that is it right now.
All right. So lastly, we're going to play our food for thought, Rub with Love trivia, of which this week our technical producer, Sean, is going to be our victim this week. We're going to take him down. He's about 6 foot tall. And by the time we get done with him, Terry, he's going to be 5'5".
Really?
Really?
Sorry.
All right. Well, why don't you follow up on that taste of the week?
Yeah, I just can't stay away from it. Taste of the week, the peach from Jackie Cross at Prosser Farm. Jackie, I just tried the peach and Tom gave me graciously that this is the quite essential perfect peach this
Why?
time.
What to me makes that the best for you?
Well, okay, so first of all, the texture.
It's
That's
firm.
very important. It's got a little firmness, but it's all giving, like once you close your mouth gently, it just gently goes away.
Oh yeah, but it's firm but not hard,
Correct.
right? Because I don't like it when they get sloppy.
No,
Right?
no, of
Where
course.
they kind of melt in your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's delicious, but it's not practical.
And I cut it in half, contrary to what Pam was thinking. I twisted it, and it, when you twist that half, it just slides gently. It does no resistance, but no mushiness, like you said. That's perfect ripeness. And then the flavor is exactly the balance of what I'm looking for in a peach. It's got the right amount of sugar, right amount of water, right amount of texture, right amount of
acid.
fruitiness.
I thought it had a little
and
acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was, to me, when you can get a peach that balances that great sweetness that we all love with an acidic back, so that it's perfectly balanced on your palate. I just think that's the best.
Now, for me, when it's not that kind of a peach, I just eat it just like that.
Yeah.
I don't touch it. I don't do anything else. I just take the peel. And the peel, by the way, came with my finger.
Right.
Like
When they're ripe like that, they just the fuzzy skin just peels right off.
Right off.
No.
So it's bravo to Jackie for growing delicious peaches. And I'm very sorry. And some other ding dong is enjoying the other tree. But these are delicious. Bravo.
So in the same vein, but my taste of the week is a pet peeve. I know that's shocking to you,
No.
but
How do too?
this happened in my own restaurant.
Okay.
We grow this beautiful fruit,
Yeah.
and they put it they'll make cantaloupe salad, or they'll make a peach and feta, or they'll do a peach galette for dessert or something like that, which is beautiful. I love it. But I went and I had breakfast, and I had a fruit cup for my breakfast, along with an omelet.
Let me guess. You had like
In my own company's, in my own restaurant,
Bananas?
fruit cup was California grapes,
no.
Hawaiian pineapple.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, yeah. The worst thing in my mind that could have happened, I had an unripe California strawberry. And
Damn. I guess you got the good morning.
well, we had some words, but it was everything I despise about off-season fruit or in-season fruit from other places, when we have so much beautiful produce right now in our own state,
I mean,
in our
we
own
have a
city,
bounty.
and from our own farm.
I just picked a bunch of blueberry at Wood Creek Blueberry Farm with Jay and Jane
Yeah.
2 days ago. I mean, it's the end of the season. I get it, but
It was just somebody not thinking. It wasn't like the fruit was bad. It was perfectly fine, except for the unripe strawberry. But why? We have time to use that all winter long.
this
pineapple.
is why everyone needs to walk through a farmer's market this time of year to be reminded of what's local and what's in season. You owe it to yourself. You don't have to buy anything. Go walk the farmer's market. See what's local and seasonal right now.
Yeah.
It will give you ideas of what's in season and what you should be having right now.
God, our Hannah's Choice cantaloupes right now are just the bomb. I don't want anything else in my fruit cup but that.
Right.
Yeah. It makes a perfect salad on the
Yeah.
dinner menu. Why aren't we putting it in our fruit
And there's
cup?
still plenty of watermelon
And there's
plenty
plenty
of
of Hannah's Choice melons.
yeah.
So anyway, that was my little pet peeve at my own company today. And
Well, that's a message
just-
for everyone
it's
else
a
too.
message for everyone. Just think a little bit before. I saw them this morning at Ballard Market, a whole big case of Driscoll strawberries from California. It's like there's so much good local fruit right now. Don't do it. Walk up to the microphone right now and say, I'm not going to do it. I'm buying local. Let's start with some tomato recipes. Tomato recipes when we come back on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
People are putting their hands on their ears right now. Oh my God.
It is perfect. That peach is perfect.
There's a whole tray of them over there.
I know.
There is?
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Isn't that perfect?
I know, it's super delicious. Thank you, Tom.
Our guests tomorrow are going to be very lucky. Get a slice of melon, a slice of peach.
Oh, you're not giving them the strawberries? There's probably going to be plenty of leftovers.
God, they had the white tops on them and everything. It's like,
I go through that.
what the heck?
You know when I go through that at the airport? It's like,
Yeah.
I got to try to explain to them. They go, well,
Yeah.
they don't do well with changes, of course. You got to deal with that.
Even the airport, I can understand it more.
No, of course.
But we grow this
I
stuff.
know.
I just brought over 10 flats of plums.
You have peaches. How long do you think that's going to last? 3 days max?
Yeah.
I'm like, use them. I mean, that would be a delicious cup to get. Those peaches with blueberry and be so good.
Pretty.
Yeah. Simple and
Okay.
delicious. I'm with you, Tom.
Here we are. We're in the kitchen here at the Hot Stove Society. This is Chef Tom Douglas.
And Terry Roturo, the chef in the hat.
And it is time to talk tomatoes because they are
Tomato.
starting to, tomatoes.
Tomato.
They're starting to come in fast and furious. You know, we had such a rough start to our green bean and tomato season over at the farm, our farm, because of that heat spell. It just knocks all the existing flowers off and all the small fruits off. And so you have to wait for another whole bloom of that growth in order to get your next crop. So it puts everything back 3 or 4 weeks.
And as I was reminded this week when I went blueberry picking at Wood Creek's farm with Jen, they reminded me that the reason there is less fruit this year and shorter season is also because not only was it cold, but the bees could not come out because it was too cold, so they couldn't
So they
pollinate.
pollinate. Yeah.
So I mean, it's something you don't even think about, but oh yeah, okay, there's another product in this involved,
Yes.
you know, and so that's why the fruit season is.
Well, if
much
they were really
smaller.
dedicated, they would go out and take a Q-tip and self-pollinate all their blueberry flowers.
Good luck.
Be a chore.
Yeah, that would be a serious job.
So, Pamela, you put this down because you love tomatoes. What is your favorite way to have a raw tomato?
I like them heavily salted with a great flake salt and tossed with cucumbers and the best olive oil you can find. Hold on a second. I don't hear you.
That could be it. So she wasn't on in the beginning either? Okay. All right, let's start. So, Pamela, how do you like your tomatoes? Raw.
It's
'Cause
really,
we're going to do cooked in the next segment.
yeah. I love them with generous amounts of flake salt, the best olive oil you can find, and tossed with a very crunchy cucumber. Doesn't that sound delicious?
And what herbage? Aren't you going to put some herbage in there?
Nope.
Just salt and just cucumber?
No cheese,
Maybe
no herbage.
some
How about little
balsamic.
crouton of fresh fried baguette?
No, she doesn't want
No,
anything. She just
no.
wants cucumber. And this is, I asked her. I don't know if you remember that, Chef, but I asked. How about you, Chef? What would you like?
I just made a very similar salad last night with olives. I like olives, so I added olive and feta and lots of basil from the garden and some tarragon. And I like tarragon this year more than ever
I know it's come up for you a couple times.
because
Derek.
I've discovered that adding, basil in a lot of cases especially when you mix it in a salad in julienne, even if you put quite a bit. It's this year, particularly for me, the first years, and basil is a little bit weak. It's not as strong as it in basil flavor as it normally is. So by adding tarragon, I'm balancing out the flavor of that and adding, similar idea of flavor. And tarragon it's not weak. So, you just put a few leaf in there and then you add it to your salad and it picks it up. So that's why I'm putting a little tarragon with my basil. But tomato, I eat tomato every time I can when they're ripe because I love tomato. I think it's a fruit slash vegetable. And I could eat every single day.
Okay. Do you want to know my favorite?
Yes, please.
That's funny. I'm going to go back to the baguette that you were talking about,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to char it hard on the grill.
Well, we're cooking, I thought we were using cold.
No. We're using raw tomato.
Okay.
But I'm going to char it hard on the grill,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm going to take a clove of garlic, a whole clove of garlic, and I'm going to rub it on that crunchy char
Sure.
so that the bread kind of scrapes a little bit of the garlic
Sure.
meat off, but not a lot. It's just the essence of
Yeah.
garlic. And then I love it at Tapas Bar in Spain, where you get pan tomcat.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And you take the ripest raw tomatoes
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you have, and you
You
simply rub
scrape-
it.
Yeah.
You don't
Scrape
put
it.
slices on.
Right.
You simply rub it, and all that juice and seedy stuff comes out, and some of the meat comes off, and you have tomato toast.
Right.
And that I have in the next segment. I'll talk about my cooked version of that, but that to me is the essence of freshness.
You know what's good on that? Anchovies.
Yeah, that to me that would overwhelm the tomato toast, but that's
Um,
okay. I mean, it's just that would be more of a focus on the anchovies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
The other
sense.
thing I like to do with raw tomatoes is a lot of times this time of year you have more than you can use, and sometimes they get a little past their slicing
Uh-huh.
stage. So I don't puree them, but I kind of really chop
Crush-
them because if
crush
I
them.
puree them, you end up with sauce.
Right.
What I want to do is just crush them, and then I put it over a fine sieve strainer, and I let all the juice drip through, and you end up with almost a clear pinkish water,
Right.
which we call tomato water.
Yeah.
And it is the biggest surprise for people when they come to your house for a little summer dinner to get like a little tomato water martini. And I don't drink vodka a lot, but if you want the alcohol, I would use vodka, say, instead of gin,
Right.
because it's
It's-
the neutral spirit. And so
Right.
what you're really after is the essence of the tomato. And it came up in the class I was teaching yesterday. Here's a woman, I was having her make pico de gallo, and she thought she should squeeze all the seeds and the juice out of the tomato and then just use. What you're doing is you're literally squeezing the flavor out
Right.
and leaving the cellulose of the plant there, right? So you're wasting the best part. So if you don't want the seeds and stuff, just put it through a strainer and rub it with a rubber spatula and just get the juice. That is literally tomato flavor.
Which
That so
is-
many people are just flushing down
Yeah.
the drain.
Which is also when I make tomato salad, usually, like if I'm going to cut some ripe tomato mixed with cucumber, we were talking about like a Greek kind of idea. I put just a little bit of squeeze of lemon
Hmm.
and then olive oil, salt and pepper. That's the only seasoning I put in there. And the reason I do that is because I know the tomatoes are going to start rendering their water, and that water becomes a dressing. And there is always quite a good amount of dressing that gets formed from that because the tomato renders all that water. But this is all beautiful flavor. I mean, that dressing on the bottom, which is olive oil, salt, pepper, and water,
Uh-huh.
or tomato water.
Yeah.
and you take your grilled bread in there.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's when you make a panzanella salad.
Oh.
And yeah, it's just the
It's
best.
just the best.
Yeah.
Especially if you add a little dash of Dijon mustard. Oh.
We're back to the fake French accent from the French guy.
And we're back to the Dijon mustard. We
Yeah.
can't get through a segment without it.
And then I want to go back to my martini a little bit. You got this beautiful up martini in a martini glass, 1 ounce of vodka, and however more you fill it is all tomato water. Then you garnish it with little Johnny jump ups. And a lot of times you can find them in the cracks of your sidewalk, little Johnny jump ups. It's
Yeah.
funny. Just make sure it's not on a dog run.
I would
Um,
prefer it to be in a pot in my backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
But another idea for that is that tomato pulp that you have where you squeeze that water from.
Mhm.
You put it in an ice cube tray in only half fill. So the small ice cube, not very
Mm-hmm.
high. So you have this tomato paste,
Tomato ice.
tomato
Yeah.
ice, and then you put that into your martini
To keep it cold.
as a garnish
Yeah.
with the Johnny Jump Ups in it.
Hmm.
Oh man, it's pretty and it's also it's 100% tomato flavor.
Huh.
So it keeps the flavor and it keeps it cold the whole time you're drinking your
Nice.
martini.
Good call, chef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. And then, of course, at the end, you're drinking that little diminished cube of tomato. Mm,
The diminished cube.
yeah. I was like- Pam is laughing because I'm making the gesture of like testing a little cube of tomato.
Do you ever make a raw tomato sauce for pasta in the summertime? I mean, we all know that, and
No.
we'll talk about tomato sauce, fresh tomato sauce in the next segment, but a raw tomato. So it's a little bit like,
I've made cook, but I've never made
it's
raw.
like a chunky gazpacho almost
Right,
in a way, but it's just, again, it's just the olive oil, the tomatoes. They do exactly the same thing without
Correct.
the heat, or you just let the warmth of the pasta warm the
Right.
tomatoes.
Now, I've
right?
done that. I've done diced raw tomato
Right.
into my pasta,
Yeah. Just
but not as a sauce. I haven't done it, but I can see how it would
be
totally
easy.
work.
Yeah, it would totally
Yeah,
work, and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the pasta is plenty hot.
Remember,
to-
salt, pepper, and olive oil on tomato goes a very, very, very long way.
Yeah.
You don't need much more than that in most cases. And garlic on the gentle side is also something that's really nice.
Mhm.
So,
And if you don't want the harshness of raw garlic, just slice it up and give it a 3-second blanch in boiling
Right,
water, and it takes
right.
the bitterness right out of it, and just throw it right in, and it's almost like raw garlic, but it's much more mild.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk cooking tomatoes in the next segment. If you hate tomatoes, this is probably not your show. But
if you hate tomato, throw the rotten one.
I
to
swear,
us.
after this segment, we'll leave tomatoes alone for a while. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
You probably have a backup of people applauding. Sean probably does too. And please edit and incorporate. We should go record a concert somewhere. I just put that as a backup.
Yes, a very good idea.
Here we go. We are live at the stadium today.
Hey, it's the Hot Stove Society Show. Thanks for joining us here. We're happy to be here at the Hotel Andra, downtown Seattle. If you ever want to come join us, we sell tickets to the show on hotstovesociety.com. $30, you get your breakfast, hot coffee.
And it's summertime, so it's a good time to come downtown and do a little staycation for a weekend and
Yeah.
start your day on Friday morning at the show.
Hang out
And
with the radio crew.
Yeah, hang out with us and, spend Friday afternoon, take the ferry, go to Membridge and have a cocktail and come back and have dinner here at Lola. And then
Dream day.
here we go.
There you go. Tomatoes. We've been discussing how to deal with them in a raw state. Let's talk a little bit about cooking tomatoes. And I'll go off on one thing that I hate what people do. And I see this when I'm in Scotland or Ireland or places like that. Every breakfast comes with a very unripe, cut in half Roma tomato that's been broiled. And I remember in very fancy hotels when I was learning how to cook way back when at the Hotel DuPont, or it seemed to be the norm. It's very continental to get a half broiled tomato. Sometimes it might have a little breadcrumb on top.
You're lucky if you get breadcrumb.
A lot of times it doesn't. And it's just like,
That's actually, if you get breadcrumb, you're fortunate.
I
'cause
hate cooked tomatoes like that. I
I know.
absolutely hate them. So let's not do that. Okay, Chef, you go.
I'm with you. For me, tomato, first thing I'm going to think about is cut them and make a wonderful sauce, like a stew. Tomato stew is what I call it, which usually starts with olive oil, diced onion, fresh thyme, oregano, and then tomato diced. And I keep the water on the side. I keep all the juice that gets generated when I slice my tomato and the extra juice, I keep that on the side for a little bit later in the story. But I put the onion, I sweat the onions a little bit, then I add the tomato, and it's usually high heat. And I saute that quickly. Then I put in fresh herbs, basil, because it's usually in the same time of the year. Basil, again, a little tarragon. Finish that, cracked pepper, a little bit of salt, and then I put the juice back into that with a dash of white wine.
Mhm.
And then I turn it down and simmer it very gently. So the pieces stay together, but they cook down. And it doesn't take very long. It takes maybe.
So what are you going to use that on?
So I can use that on so many different things. Like
Okay.
we were talking about grilled bread earlier. I love country grilled bread, like a good Skagit Valley bread, sliced, grilled with a little bit of olive oil and garlic, and then put that tomato around top. It's like it's like the pizza started.
Mhm.
You know, it's like I think that's how pizza started. It started with a slice of loaf of bread and then got more creative. But anyway,
You heard our friends at Shepherd's Grain burnt down, did you? You hear that?
no.
Yeah, so sad up there. They're looking for a new facility now, but yeah, their facility burnt,
Oh, I'm so
burnt
sorry
the
to hear
ground.
that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the base, and then the other part is I also can that. I put those in jars because in the winter, when you don't know what to cook and you want a breath of summer after 3 weeks of rain and cloudy days,
Mhm.
there's nothing more beautiful than just fresh pasta quickly. I mean, that's a 30-minute dinner.
At the
Fresh
most, yeah.
pasta and sausage cooking on the side, and then you take that sauce, you drop it on the tomato after the pasta is cooked and drained with a little bit of juice of the pasta left in there, and then you put your sausage diced or whole next to it. You get a wonderful dinner, and it's with a salad on the side. It's fantastic.
Cool.
But
I'm a
from-
whole sausage guy, just by the way. If you're serving me dinner,
Okay.
I like to cut my own.
Okay, you feel like you're a big guy enough to cut your
No,
own
it's
sausage.
just funny. I just don't like chunks of sausage. If I want chunks of something, I'll put a meatball in or something. But
Yeah, I'm
I like
kind of
a
with you.
grilled sausage, a whole. Or I love making the little rings of sausage.
Oh yeah.
Delicious. Cooked tomatoes. Pamela, do you have a favorite way to cook tomatoes that you use in your house?
I love them stewed with a charred eggplant. I like that combination flavor of the burnt. Tom's making a face of disbelief.
It's like they were beautiful.
Anytime you use the word stewed and eggplant in the same dish doesn't sound good to me.
I love what those two do together.
Uh-huh.
So that's at this time of year,
Right.
especially.
So if I was to, I mean, I'm kind of on Tom's line on this one. If I was to do eggplant, I would grill my eggplant char outside on the grill. I would cool them off, dice them off, and then add them
And
at the
then-
sauce at the last minute.
I'm
Or
gonna
you can-
change my technique.
Well, if you're going to do that, and which I totally agree, is just cut them in rounds, maybe a half-inch thick, give them a hard char, literally until they blacken on the grill, and then cut your tomatoes in half and do the same thing
Yeah, char your
on
tomato.
a super hot grill, and give because tomatoes have a lot of sugar in them. Give them a char, and now you've got with fresh herbs.
That
or
hold up to the grill, you
Oh yeah,
think?
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
and with lots of flat leaf parsley or things like that. Now you have this beautiful kind of
all that
charred.
cilantro that's going to seed, all that.
Zucchini works beautiful in that.
Yeah,
mix.
zucchini. Yeah, you could do a
Summer
beautiful
squash.
Mediterranean salad.
And I just said zucchini and summer squash, and you know how much I love
Yeah,
it.
this is a big day.
But then you garnish that with fried capers, and
Yes.
you ever fried capers?
No, but that's a great
It's a simple
idea.
thing to do.
It's
You
a
just put a
very
little
simple
pot
thing.
of olive oil on the stove, get it to 325 or so, and you can tell just by splashing just a little bit of water in there.
Just dry your capers on paper towel first.
Yeah, or else you'll boil over your olive oil. But yeah, just throw your capers in, and they literally pop. They literally kind of explode, and it's a nice garnish for a vegetable salad like that.
What a great idea. Do they get crunchy?
Yep.
Or
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Depending on how long you leave them in, but
Yeah,
you have to.
I
Be
want the
patient.
crunch.
You have to be patient with them. Olives work a little bit like that too. You can get those a little bit crispy.
But that's a good idea. I mean, the idea of grilling the tomato and grilling the eggplant.
Grilling
I
the
think-
onion,
I think
whatever
you're bringing
it is.
an extra layer of flavor that
Yes.
is definitely that's ordinary to extraordinary right there. I think that's
Taking it
definitely
up a
level.
notch.
You know, the other night when you came to my house for dinner for my niece's birthday, I made a charred eggplant, like a spicy charred eggplant, which wasn't spicy enough. But I think in the future, for me anyway, when I'm using the big globe eggplants, I'm going to peel them because I didn't like the residual skin in that salad, that spicy eggplant salad. And normally I don't ever peel eggplant.
It's funny you say that because I remember I told you I did a Moroccan dinner the other day, last week,
Mhm.
and I did exactly that. I did an eggplant salad, and I peeled the eggplant because I had 3 globe eggplant to cook,
Mhm.
and I peeled them, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a big, huge difference in terms of flavor and in terms of when you're eating it.
Texture. Yeah.
Much more
Yeah.
appealing to me because I did not overcook them. I grilled them like we just talked about.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I salt them first, and I pat them dry. Then I olive oil, grill them, and then I dice them and put that into my salad. And it was so delicious. I mean, we had that for like, and I made a big batch. So I had that for like 3-4 days.
Well, going back to tomatoes, when you don't want the peel on your tomatoes, I think people don't realize how easy they are to take a ripe tomato, pop it into boiling water for 15 to 20 seconds. Just use your spider, your little strainer, pull them back out, put them on a towel or something, and then your peel will come off super easy.
Yeah.
And you don't end up when you're making a cooked tomato sauce with all that stringy
Correct.
skin
Right.
in the tomato sauce. And it seems like, God, do I really have to do that? And Jackie made fresh tomato sauce the other night without doing that, and it was perfectly fine.
Right.
It is something, though, if you want a very smooth sauce.
Right.
If you look at canned tomatoes, when you open the can, they're all peeled.
Correct.
They don't come with the skin on.
Right.
And that's what gives you that smoothness in your sauce.
Yeah, I think they use big giant steam bath.
I
Just
don't
run
know
them
what they
through
do.
it in like 10 seconds and come out on the other side. And there's a guy who's going like this.
I don't think there's anybody twisting that skin off. I think there's a machine involved. Something tells me. I'm concerned about. We make a delicious tomato sauce for our pizza at Serious Pie, and we make it every day. I mean, hundreds of gallons a month, and they're talking about no tomatoes in California because of all the drought. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
and the
very
tomatoes here are a little bit late too. I mean,
yeah, but this is going to affect next year's crop,
right?
Because they're
right.
canning now for
Correct.
next year's crop, right? Or next year's.
And this is not going to go away.
cans.
This is going to get worse every year, probably. The the drought in California is not going away.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
No.
And there's drought everywhere.
Yeah.
He showed pictures of the Danube. Did you see that in the newspaper with the
That was scary.
with the German boats that they scuttled?
They had to stop the Danube for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Well, it's our new environment. It's
And
our
the
world.
dinosaur prints they find in the lake that's like the level is so low. Then they find dinosaur prints that are exposed now.
Oh, that's in Texas. I saw
Yeah.
that too. Yeah. Okay. When we come back,
Citrus.
it's time to do that again, Sean Dottori. Okay. So when we come back, we're going to have a minute or two on citrus peels and how to use them and where it's fun to use them that you might not think about typically. I mean, you think about like garnishing a drink with it or something, but there's lots of ways to use citrus peel that you might not be thinking about. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Then we'll talk about my wife leaving a half lemon in the fridge or half lime uncovered. Drive me crazy.
Wow.
Every
That's a
time
first-
she does it,
That's
I'm
a
like,
first world problem right there, Chef.
no kidding.
You better think about that before you.
I
down
just,
that
I just
path.
did off the air. That's why.
I know she's watching right now.
She's never watching. No, I don't have to worry about that.
I'm not gonna let you see my refrigerator. It's got half lemons. And
Pamela
limes.
won't even
no.
get an
I don't
ice
care about
machine.
the half lemon. I care about freaking wrap it up. Who leaves a half lemon or
Your
lime
wife
in-
does.
Yeah,
Careful what you're saying.
me too.
Okay,
And I'm with
ladies,
Kathy.
let's get this thing out of the box right now. Cover the stuff in the fridge, man. It's like, who's ever heard? I mean, you're covering everything else. What's the matter with the lime? With the lemon? What did they do to you?
So this whole thing makes you go into a falsetto voice.
Well, because-
cover the fridge,
well,
man.
because I am like,
Yes, you are.
I mean, you find a lime that's
I
like a
got
tile
it,
in the
Chef.
fridge. I'm like,
wait,
who's ever thought that was okay?
wait. You okay now, Chef?
I guess I'll try to get over it. Couple hours of therapy and
Yeah.
be fine.
There's a couch right out there if you want to lay down. I'll send somebody. I'll send somebody out. Annie
For a little
will come out.
massage,
No,
relaxation.
no. A little chat.
A little chat. Okay. All right.
Oh my.
I'm over it. Have anything in my fridge not covered? I'm like, an onion.
I think we heard it the first 3 times you said it.
craziness.
Coming back right here at the Hot Stove Society Show. We're thankful that you're with us. We have
So excited.
Pamela as our audience of one today.
But I'm excited to be
You're
here.
excited.
Me too.
Okay, Chef Terry, are you okay now?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm gonna get over it. Yep.
Okay, I'm Tom Douglas. Chef Terry was just had a little mental breakdown right now because somebody in his life does not wrap their citrus when they put it in the fridge, and so
Horrors.
So, and apparently neither does our producer.
I know.
Yeah.
She gladly told me.
See, well,
I'm like,
you looked at
I'm
us
so
both and you
shocked
said,
by that.
you looked at us both and you said, "Who does that?" And then Pamela was just like, "I do." Citrus peels. There's so many ways to use them that you don't really think about.
Well,
They're
let's talk
all
about.
used to doing a quick squeeze of lemon or a quick squeeze of lime or taking, one big slice. I like a lemon peel in my martini at 5 o'clock every day. And sometimes you see a lemon in there that's been in there for a week or two that just has one stripe of citrus peel off and it's uncovered. I don't know who would do that, but there's lots of things to do with it. And the number one thing that I think is to do is I love when I'm finishing a steak or finishing a chicken is to have an infused olive oil to finish with. So I finish so many things with olive oil, but it's great to have an orange oil or a lemon oil or a grapefruit oil or something. Grapefruit on fish pretty much only, but lemon oil is great on pork chops.
Yeah.
And so just take those peels. If you know you just want the juice this time, take those peels, peel them all off, put them in a little Ziploc and put them in your freezer until you have enough to infuse a bottle of olive oil. If you look at the grocery store for preserved lemon oil, not preserved lemon oil, just lemon oil or something like that, it's about 2 or 3 times the price than regular olive oil. And all they're doing is infusing it with lemon peel.
And they're not
we're
even,
throwing away.
they're taking the oil of the lemon and putting it into the olive oil.
Exactly. So it's an easy thing to do. And it's a fun thing to do. It's a fun little project. And you just let it sit in your fridge for a week or two and you've got lemon oil.
So the word is when you take a lemon or lime and you're about to use it for whatever purpose you're going to use it, first thing, take your peeler, peel the skin off.
Or if you want to intensify the lemon flavor that you're looking for, grate it.
Yeah.
Put it in with the juice. Yeah.
Grate it or peel it, one of the two. So now you get the white pith left and you get the lemon or the lime left. Then you take the pith off and you can actually use the pith for other things. But
I like the way you say pith.
Isn't it how you say it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. I was like, what? Did I been saying it wrong the whole time? Okay. And take the pith and you can do some bitter for your cocktail you were talking about. But
how do you make bitters like that?
So if
you want to make a lemon bitter.
So I would take the all the white of the lemon, you skin your
pith.
Thank you. The pith of the lemon. And you can actually, if you segment your lemon, segment a lemon or an orange or citrus, is when you cut the meat off the citrus in between the membrane that are separating each one. So you cut the meat off, now you get raw meat of citrus. The pith is the white on the outside, but the inside has the same kind of flavor. It's more intensified in lemon, but it's got also very strong bitter. You take all this and you squeeze it, and you could take a little bit of vodka. Or
is it just alcohol that you add to that?
Just a little bit of alcohol, then you add to that, not too much. And then you can do fresh herbs if you want. You can do thyme would be a good one to add to that. So you have lemon, thyme, and vodka, and you let it macerate. You will end up with something very bitter in the end, with, of course, some alcohol. But this could be a bitter you could add to, you're making a vodka martini. You just do a vodka martini, a lemon vodka martini. And then so that's the white. The meat, obviously, you use it for garnishes or for whatever you're using it. And then the peel, another thing you can do, if you don't want to do the Ziploc in the freezer or whatever, put it in sugar. It's very simple. Take your lemon peel. You're making one for your cocktail and you have 10 extra left. Put that into a sugar bowl, into a sugar jar, and then keep that jar, and you'll have lemon sugar.
Right.
So next time you do a tart or you do a cake or whatever, you sprinkle a little bit of that sugar at the end before you take it out of the oven, 2 minutes before you take it out of the oven. You sprinkle that sugar on top of your cake and you put it back in the oven for 2 minutes. The sugar is going to melt and give you that lemony flavor on top of your cake.
The other thing you do with that very same peel, whether it's orange or lemon or grapefruit or citron or something, you take that and you cook it for maybe 5 minutes in a simple syrup, which is 1-to-1 sugar to water.
Right.
And then you pull it out of the simple syrup and you roll it in granulated sugar or something. And now you've got a delicious little candied orange peel. And I love taking those and then chopping them into bits. Like if I'm not the biggest fan of chocolate chip cookies, they're a little bit boring to me unless they're perfect. And so when I love them with a little bit of diced orange peel, candied orange peel, or candied lemon peel, I just think it adds a tremendous amount of interest to the cookie.
Yeah.
Especially shortbreads, things of that nature. So
And you can take those orange peel, same thing, and you can dip them in chocolate, like a bittersweet chocolate, dark chocolate.
mhm.
Do that as a gift. Put it in a bag and give that as a gift for Christmas or whatever, birthday party or whatever. And it makes and it's a very inexpensive. It's just work. I mean, it's you have orange peel and you have chocolate and sugar, and that's not a very expensive item to make, but it's very nice to have gift like that, and they're delicious. Little orangette.
Mhm. I think that you can do that also with if you take white wine, and I think the recipe for this is in Seattle Kitchen, maybe Big Dinners. I don't remember. Big Dinners. And you make your own Bianco. Like, sometimes at the store you can see Martini and Rossi Bianco, or
Right.
there's a version of vermouth that's a little bit less herbaceous,
More sweet.
and it's just meant to be poured over rocks, over ice, and have a refreshing Bianco in the summertime. And all you got to do is I like to buy a good white wine, not like a white Burgundy or something, but a good Vermentino, or just something that is, for some reason, I like white, cheap white, Gavi de Gavi, some sort of white wine. And I pour out an ounce to make sure it's delicious. And I simply just put a sprig of rosemary, a sprig of sage, and 2 or 3 lemon peels into the bottle, and then cork it back up.
Right.
And I let it sit on the counter for a day, and then it goes into the fridge. And now you have a little refreshing Bianco, or a little aperitif wine that you wouldn't ever have thought about to use a citrus peel for. So there's so many things.
Yeah, and then also, earlier I said you put the peel in sugar. You can also put them in salt. You can season your salt. You can season. I mean, lemon or lime or orange are very strong. The oil content is very intense.
In the skin, yeah.
Yeah, and using those skins in flavoring is so easy. I mean, you said olive oil, then we sell sugar, then we say salt. I mean, you can use it in so many different places. Freezer bag, I think that's a great idea. I always have a bag for all the bones and all the vegetable leftovers, peels and all that stuff in my freezer. I mean, I have a
I
lot
believe
of
you, chef.
that stuff.
I believe you.
And then I'm going to take a big pot and make a big stock and put that in quart container and have homemade stock.
There you go. So the lesson of the day on citrus peel is,
Don't throw them away.
well, try not to. I mean, obviously, I throw some away. You
Yeah.
throw some away, but there's so many things to do with it, and whatever we can do to use up that whole piece of fruit would be awesome. We've got one more full hour to go here at the Hot Stove Society show in Cairo, and it's going to be chock full of rice salads and Washington Farmland Trust, and of course, we're going to finish up with the Rub with Love Food for Thought Tasty Trivia Challenge at the end of the show.
I wonder if Pam's going to play today.
I don't know. Don't know. On Cairo, it's the Hot Stove Society show, 97.3 FM.
That is such a good idea to zest it or peel it immediately, and just because that way you guarantee that you're going to use it. The article I read said as soon as she brings her fruit home, she just zests it, and
if you leave your lemon or your lime
uncovered after you
just a white pith around drying out in your fridge, I won't be as upset. Just kidding. Make it. All you need to do is a little yogurt container with a lid and keep all your citrus halves in there. That's all you need to do. It's simple.
I thought we were done with this.
no, the big subject.
I'm coming to your house.
You called Kathy. You called Kathy and told her to watch, right, Sean?
No, please.
Yeah.
Marriage counseling, right there.
We sped through that first hour.
Yeah.
No monkeying around today. Did you get a picture of them closer together? Did you send them to Amy for the website? Yeah. Okay.
I need to get my makeup done before you take a shot.
Not me, man. Still haven't learned how to use it.
Once in a while, you see Pam with a little lipstick go.
Exactly. It's just, it's not my strong suit.
You don't really. I was just looking in the mirror now. Oh my God!
Oh my God.
I always forget to tell people when I'm kidding. It gets me in a lot of trouble.
It's funny that we talk about rice salad today because I just had a rice salad 2 days
Oh,
ago.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is good timing.
At the farm, at the blueberry farm, they always make us lunch when we go there. It's very funny. She made a delicious rice salad.
What kind of rice? I think that's the critical thing.
It was just regular rice,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
but
to
it was
know.
cooked. It was, I think. I'm sorry. White Uncle Ben's rice. How's that? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, this is what you call regular rice. No, it was just a long grain rice, regular white long grain rice.
Right.
And it's very, very timely. Remember when I was a kid, jambon. My mom would put jambon in rice salad. Jambon, petit pois, fresh, fresh petit pois. Jambon, and there was one more thing.
Are you testing my French before I go to Paris on Saturday?
Is that where you're going? Get out of here. You're going to Paris?
And,
How long are you going?
And then a week in Provence.
No shit. We're in Provence.
I don't know.
A
I don't have
small
my. I don't have my phone. I left my phone at home. Phone home.
Your phone doesn't connect. It's not connected to that?
It probably is.
He probably doesn't know.
No. It's connected to. Some things will go over, but
You get your text through there, right?
yeah,
So-
Yeah, so you're connected
just-
to.
yeah, but some don't go. Like when you are direct, like I can't text anyone with an Android from my
Oh no,
iPad.
that's because Apple is I have the same problem. It doesn't work with everybody. You can't text everybody from
But
your
they had sent me a picture of the house that we're staying in Provence. I remember the pool.
small pool or big.
I don't know.
Are you going to Corsica?
Jackie is planning the trip. I have no idea. I would doubt it.
Because I got a house if you want to go to Corsica.
Whose is it?
Somebody, like an Airbnb kind of idea. Stone house made by the guy who owns the house.
Wow.
So cool. Small, not too big, but perfect for a couple.
Yeah.
With a little pool.
Mm.
Oh, in the forest kind of idea.
Mm.
In the maki. Oh.
Mm.
Mm. But we're going to Morocco, so
Yeah.
I guess I can't wait.
Gonna be spectacular.
Oh my God, camel ride? Are you serious? In the desert? Are you kidding?
Are you doing that?
Oh yeah. Is it comfortable? I'll let you know. But those are 4x4 and they come with. It's a 2022 version.
We're going to do it on Wednesday, so you can do it on Monday.
Oh!
Oh no.
Two is camel, one is dromadaire. I don't know how you say that in English. How do you say dromadaire? You call them both camel?
Yeah, probably. Generalize here.
Seriously? I should look it up.
There's a different kind of deal.
It's funny because dromedary. You know that
What does
word?
that mean?
It's the name of a one-hump camel.
Oh wow. Wow.
You guys call them camel both, right?
Yeah.
I say you guys. I don't know why. Me. I feel like I'm taking the French side on this one. Let me see something.
I'm not well versed in the fine points of camel.
Very, outside the wheelhouse.
Oh, it says something. It says something different. Hang on one second. Yeah, dromedary.
Sounds vaguely familiar now that you're mentioning it.
Yeah, chameau is camel. Camel. Let me double check something. Dromedary. I'll be honest.
What happened, Pam?
I'm hoping you can tell me.
What is it?
A mess. But it's for the plum and peach segment.
Ah.
I thought I was making you a treat, and then it turned out awful.
Plum and peach segment. You were making a
Probably
tree.
used citrus that wasn't covered,
Uh-oh.
which is different than an utter failure,
Is it a
which would
cake?
be a lack of milk. It looks perfect. I
Why
don't
is
know
it?
what's wrong with
Why
it.
is it?
When you taste it, you'll see.
Did you use salt instead of sugar?
If it's in the flavor, that's something else. That is not. The failure is not in the look because the look it looks fine.
Okay, we gotta keep going. 'Cause we have to call Melissa.
Melissa Clark.
You wanna do rice first, or do we wanna call her to lead in?
Oh, we got time. She's not till 10:15, right?
Well, I told her we were running a little ahead, so let's do rice real fast.
Okay.
We do rice in 7:45.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio at the Hotel Andra in downtown Seattle. We are thrilled to be here with you. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And I'm Thierry Roturo, the chef in a hat. Happy to be here for second hour.
We have a rice salad segment coming up. We got Melissa Campbell from Washington Farmland Trust to tell us about how to help save the land that we love here, the farmland of Washington. And food for thought tasty trivia is on the docket. Looking forward to that. Our technical producer, Sean McFadden, has decided to jump in the fray here. So I'm looking forward to knocking him down a notch because he's such an egomaniacal kind of guy.
It's not even close.
Constantly just like in my face. Says,
He's
like,
the
"What's
sweetest
wrong
guy
with
ever."
you?" Blah, blah, blah. No, he is the nicest guy.
And
ever,
he's a
so-
great cook.
And he's a great cook. So we could be in trouble, Chef.
I think we are always in trouble no matter what.
There's nothing wrong with a little trash talk.
That's right. That's right. It gets the mood set up right off the bat
Exactly.
and puts everybody on their toes.
Let's trash talk about rice salad. I put one of my old mentors, Steven Steinbach, who was one of the guys influential in my cooking career. He always made rice salads, and I loved them, but you don't see them very often.
No,
I don't know if it's a cultural thing, like if they are big in France, if they're big in Spain, or something. I just don't remember.
I think they're
seeing
bigger
them.
in France. For
Are
sure.
they? Yeah. So for a rice salad in my second book, Tom's Big Dinners, I have a hazelnut rice salad with parsley and artichokes. And the key on this is just, work your magic on the fresh artichokes because using canned ones just doesn't. I mean, I like them. I like canned artichokes, but when they're in season and you have the time to prep them, the baby artichokes make great artichoke quarters for your rice salad. And then toasted hazelnuts that are peeled.
So let's talk
And lots of parsley.
Let's talk about the rice first.
Okay.
What kind of rice do you use?
I use basmati rice.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit long grain. You don't want to use a Borio or
No.
bomba rice, any
No.
of that paella or
Too
risotto kind
starchy,
of rice. Yeah.
too
And you don't want to use Nico, which is a rice that
Right.
I love. I make fried rice out of
Sticky.
that all the time, but it's too sticky.
Yeah.
So some long grain like Texmati or Basmati or Jasmine
Yeah.
or something like that is a good place to start. And then just cook it, right?
Yep.
Cook it like in your rice cooker, like you were going to put it on the dinner table, and then spread it out on a sheet pan.
You want to try to make sure you don't overcook it. So that's important, because you're gonna end up with this pasty mouthfeel. That's not gonna be very attractive.
Yeah, you want it to have texture left.
Right. You
Yeah.
want to still have a little texture to it.
And remember, you're going to add a lot of salad dressing. Rice
Correct.
salad, like pasta salad,
It's gonna
takes
get
a lot of
moist.
dressing.
Yeah, it's gonna swallow a lot of the moisture and it's gonna get wet. So you
Mhm.
want to make sure it's not overcooked and pasty.
And so I take the rice, just like I said, simply cooked. I put a piece of plastic wrap on the cookie sheet because rice like that tends to get sticky
Mm-hmm.
and wants to stick to everything it touches, including the spoon you're stirring with. So I just put it on that, spread it out, pop it in the fridge. If you talk to the health department, and I think people think that rice isn't as volatile like beans, right? As it is. Those are the kind of things that really cause problems in the kitchen when they sit
Exactly.
out too long.
Mainly because they're full of starch,
Yeah.
change into sugar, and then that turns into fermentation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the bacteria starts forming, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Same with beans, same with anything, potatoes.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave those warm at room temp for a long time.
Right. So just take that, put it in the fridge, cool it off, and you want it to be cold when you start.
So one thing that
Unless you're going to eat it right away, then I
One-
like to just go warm.
one thing I do, Tom, is this is when I take olive oil and I drizzle it over my rice and I fork it just like I would a couscous or whatever
Mhm.
before I put it in the fridge. And mainly so it loosens the grains and also coats the rice with a little bit of olive oil. So that's one thing that I do. Then I put it in the fridge, let it cool off, and then take it out. And then I let it, and then start mixing it with all my goodies.
Let it come back to room temperature a little
Right.
bit. Yeah.
I want to mention that it just happens to be timely when we talk about rice salad. 2 days ago, when I was at the blueberry farm, I'm going to mention that name again, Wood Creek Blueberry Farm in Monroe, from Jay and Jane Magoo. And Jane made wonderful rice salad for lunch, which I hadn't had a rice salad in quite some time. It was wonderful because it was made with peaches, and she's vegetarian. She can't have dairy. It's not she's vegetarian. She can't have dairy. So she used that, I call it fake sour cream. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
it's made with cashew and something else. But anyway, she used that. Lots of fresh basil, diced onion, a bit of olive oil, and lemon, and peaches. And that was so delicious.
Mm.
Savory, salt, pepper, obviously. And that was so beautiful and savory and summery, and it was not too sweet. The peaches were actually, we've been talking about peaches a lot. They had that acid balance. It was absolutely gorgeous salad, and I was stunned. Everything. It was a beautiful salad. Congratulations, Jane.
Now, if you wanted to take that in a little heavier direction, this is a good place to take the leftover rotisserie chicken that you bought.
Correct.
But you don't want to chunk it. In a rice salad, you want it to be shredded. You want it to be thinly sliced,
Right.
something like that. You don't want big chunks of chicken breast in
Right.
there. That's just
Right.
gross.
Small dice.
Well, okay. You can go for a dice, but I'm going for a little shred.
Right.
The shred is a little bit like the basmati grain.
Correct.
You mentioned couscous, and it tickles me because how many people think couscous is a grain, and how many people don't realize it's pasta.
Yeah.
But because it gets used like in the same way,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
Correct.
as a
Well,
grain.
also you buy it, it's dry. You don't
I
think
know.
pasta. It's so small. You don't.
it looks
doesn't.
like bulgur a little bit.
Correct.
Yeah.
So anyway, in this time of year, it's the perfect time to make a beautiful rice salad because you got all this bounty of vegetable. You don't like zucchini too much, but if you grill some zucchini, we go back to the grilling of, you get your barbecue on, especially when it's 90 degrees outside. You're not gonna cook inside. You grill your vegetable outside and you mix that with your rice into a salad, nice easy dressing, a citrus dressing, and then you get this wonderful bright salad on your hand. Lots of fresh herb at the last minute. Some people put mayonnaise in their rice salad. That's not my thing.
Oh, not me.
But that's very common.
Really?
Oh yeah,
No.
Pam, Is it
No.
common?
No.
No? I've seen it in many
I've seen it in
recipes.
potato salad, but not in rice salad.
Oh, no, I've seen it in many recipes. They
Now,
put mayonnaise. I'm
I've
like,
taken that very same rice and I've made rice pudding out of it, which is one of my favorite
Yeah.
things. I love rice pudding, but yeah, mayo and rice salad, you're dreaming. Never seen it before.
Google it up.
Oh, the Italians love it that way.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Exactly.
They put mayonnaise at the end.
Why is it you hate everything Italian until they agree with you?
No. It's not. I hate it. I just don't like it. It's
You
not
just
my
think,
thing.
You just think that they copied the French.
No, I think mayonnaise in rice salad is not my thing. It's just I like a liquid dressing. That's all.
Okay.
Much more on the lighter side, I think. And to me, I think it's you're talking about rice that's cold and cooked, right?
Mhm.
So the vessel is there. The rest is whatever you put in there is what's going to make the
Right.
salad.
So another trick on this is you put all your salad ingredients together and you wait till about 10 minutes before you're going to serve it and then you dress it. Because if you don't, your rice just will sop up all the it's like pasta salad.
Correct.
It just sops up all the dressing and it feels a little bit dry, and grated cheese is really good in rice salad.
yeah, put your fresh herb at the end.
Yeah.
Your basil, your parsley, your cilantro. Put all that at the end, at the 1 minute before you toss the whole salad. Let it sit for a minute or two and then serve it.
All right, Melissa Campbell is going to join us from Washington Farmland Trust. Tell us about what's going on in that world. We had her on last year at this time, and we're going to talk to her again because it's important stuff. You can learn how you're going to be able to help stay involved. All right, it's Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show. See you in a minute on 97.3 FM.
Melissa. You would have loved Mavis.
Yeah, that's
She did the opening for Bonnie Raitt. She was awesome.
I've seen Vegas with Bonnie Raitt in
Yeah, me
Sun
too.
Valley, Idaho.
yeah, they're a good combo. Bonnie Raitt does such an admirable job of promoting other musicians.
Yeah. 50 years on the board for her. She's 72, and Mavis is 83. She's like, yeah, my little, what did she call her? My sister, my daughter, or something like that.
Yeah.
Do we have to go through this?
No, we don't.
Hello, this is Melissa.
Good morning. This is the Hot Stove team. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Tom remembers fondly talking to you last year and is excited
So
to.
does Thierry.
And so does Terry. Is also
And the
fond.
year, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before. I believe we've talked to
Excellent. I
you.
love this.
We talked to you every year for the last at least 5 years.
When did you take over,
Yeah.
Melissa?
Oh gosh. 2019, early 2019.
Yeah. And doing
Yeah,
a
this
damn
is just-
fine job.
Oh man, thank you so much.
So I think, Tom, when you lead in to the conversation, in addition to love the land, will you make sure she has a minute to just describe what the trust is accomplishing in Washington?
I will not, but you can because you are much more familiar.
Working on a little sound thing. Hang tight.
Might be the-
All right, no problem. Can you hear me okay, Pamela?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, cool.
Are you at the Bullet Building today or at home today?
I'm at home today. I've been in the office every day this week, which is not normal and has its own level of kind of exhaustion. So yeah, I'm happy to be at home today, and the kids are at camp this morning.
you
So
go.
it makes it a little bit
Oh,
easier.
you have the luxury of
Yeah.
some Melissa time.
That's right. Some silence and no screaming and slamming doors behind me.
Melissa time.
Melissa time. We love it. No, it's terrible. I was
Are an exaggerator.
I'm just cutting a piece of cake that I made last night, and I think it came out terrible. But and
Oh,
I called
no.
it an utter failure. But
Utter, which is different than an utter failure.
No, it's,
Which is a lack of
it's the
cream.
opposite of an inner failure.
Yeah.
That's called mastitis.
But Jackie had these incredible Santa Rosa
Aren't they good?
plums, and so it's
Oh,
a
wow.
plum and
What's wrong
peach
with this?
cake.
I just said it's
Oh
the
my
cake's a
God.
little bit dry. It just needs a little more fat. If a dollop or
Save it for the segment we're doing Farmland Trust now.
Well, here we are back in the kitchen on Cairo Radio. Way to go, chef. Melissa Clark is on the phone.
Campbell, start over.
I made the mistake to say Melissa Clark earlier. That's me. Sorry.
Oh, Campbell.
She writes for the New York Times.
I know.
Also a good person.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio. We're having a good old time here, but we're by ourselves today because we're taping on an off day. Sad that we have no audience, but if you want to come down and hang with us on our regular taping days, you're welcome to go to hotstovesociety.com and buy a ticket. Join us. Hang out. Melissa Campbell is here from Washington Farmland Trust. She's the executive director. And Pamela, you are a big fan of the Washington Farmland Trust. You've been supporting it both with your time, talent, and treasure for a long time. Tell us about you and your association. And then Melissa, maybe you could tell us of some funny stories about Pamela.
No, please.
We need some dirt.
Well, I am a supporter of the trust because I believe that people need to pay more attention to our farmland, saving our farmlands, and remembering that without farms, we're not going to have food.
Right.
It's elemental.
Right.
It's a steep learning curve being involved in the trust, though, because their work is complicated. And it involves conservation easements and negotiating with a lot of stakeholders. So thank God we've got Melissa and her team because they are patient and methodical and have achieved a tremendous amount of farmland preservation. And I'm going to let her talk about that.
All right. A lot of I's to dot and T's to cross.
Exactly.
Exactly. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Thank you for that nice introduction, Pamela. And, we wouldn't be the organization we are today without the support of supporters and board members like you, Pamela, and support of incredible institutions here in Seattle like Tom Douglas and Hot Stove Society. So thank you all, and thanks for the opportunity to be here. Washington Farmland Trust conserves land across the state of Washington, and we also provide technical assistance for farmers who are looking for land. I think, as we all know, a large majority of our farmers currently are set to retire over the next 10 years, and we are really concerned about the next generation of farmers and helping them access land. Land prices here in Washington are $15,000 an acre and incredibly out of reach for most of our new and beginning farmers. So we're kind of walking that path of trying to protect what's left here in Washington and create affordable land access opportunities for the new generation of farmers here in Washington. And that's what we do at the Washington Farmland Trust.
So I would think that the biggest problem we have, which is, I think, the biggest problem we have on the planet everywhere, is population. I mean, the growth of population versus the land farm, or the farmland, I should say, is, I think, I mean, the chemicals is the other one, but the population is growing and growing, and less dirt is available because more houses are coming up. And is this a phenomenon? How far do you go east of Washington, of Seattle, I should say? How far do you go to preserve land?
Thanks for asking that question. So we've conserved land as far east as Walla Walla and as far west as Clallam County out on the Olympic Peninsula for our conservation work. Our land access work spans the entire state, and we have a coordinator on our team who supports farmers regardless of where they are in the state of Washington, providing them with technical assistance and resources through the trust or local community-based partners, regardless of where they are across the state. So various programs kind of span different geographies here in our state. And, Thierry, as you pointed out, yes, our communities are growing across the state. And while we support smart growth and want, homes for everyone, where we are concerned is when there's development on prime agricultural land that has water. And that is a dwindling resource when you have prime soils and you also have water for irrigation. And we believe there's a place and to do responsible development so people can have homes. And there's also a place for agriculture on those prime soils with access to water. And so that's what we're really focused on, is finding those parcels that are still viable for agriculture. Predominantly, we're focused here on the west side as we look along the I-5 corridor and see the growth of our cities expanding along the I-5 corridor. But we do look across the state for opportunities to partner and support other organizations who are invested in farmland conservation as well.
Just if you want to put it in perspective, just drive down I-5 and look at all the buildings in the Kent Valley that used to be farmland and really rich farmland and well-watered farmland, and they're just gone. And so that's what Melissa is trying to do, is save some of that property for farming. Melissa, tell us about your fundraiser that's going on the 15th of September.
Thank you. I would love to. So our annual fundraising event, Love the Land, is coming up Thursday, September 15th from 5:30 to 8:30. This is our first in-person event since COVID started in 2020. So we're thrilled to be able to welcome our community back together to support and celebrate our local farms. We are going to have some incredible music with the True Love, Angela Poe Russell, is going to be our MC. And we are going to welcome David Hackinson from Jubilee Farm and Annie Bailey from Bailey Farms up in Snohomish County to share their personal stories and journeys in farming. And then we will also feature our new program, Farm to Farmer, and do some storytelling around the growth of that program and the real need to support the next generation of farmers and looking for land. So we'd love it if you could join us. Our goal is to raise $200,000 through this event, and tickets are on sale now, and you can find tickets at waufarmlandtrust.org, events, and Love the Land. So tickets are $125. We're going to have incredible swag bags, and hope you all can join us.
Well, I mean, you can't really, if you're a foodie and you're listening to this show, you can't really do much better with your 125 than guaranteeing that we'll have great agricultural land in the future.
Preservation of the land.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, did you say where the event was?
Oh, it's at the Center for Urban Horticulture at the University of Washington, which is right next to the UW farm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just went to a 75th birthday party there for somebody, and what a nice, sweet little spot that is.
Yeah.
It just fits the mission so well to be near the farm and outdoors. It's going to be lovely.
And Melissa, just so that so everyone knows, $125, September 15th. But go back for 1 second, and in a 30 seconds or a minute synopsis, tell us how you make the transaction with a farmer who's ready to retire. They're 65 years old, been farming forever. This is their nest egg, which is their land. How do you make that transaction?
Yeah, and it's a multi-year process, really, and it begins with building relationships and trust in the community. And so when we have a farmer who's ready to sign up, we do an appraisal and we evaluate the developability of that land and the agricultural value, and we pay them for that difference of those two values to ensure they are paid a fair market value for forever protecting their land. It provides a nice nest egg to them as they anticipate retirement. And it also ensures that the farmland stays agriculture forever. So the farmer gets paid, the land gets protected. There's a series of real estate appraisals and agreements and legal conversations in the mix. But all told, it's about a 3-year process by the time we line up funding, by the time we sign agreements, to getting to closing. So and even before that, like I mentioned, just the long road in building relationships and trust in communities. And as Pamela said, it's a complex process. So we want to make sure we're working side by side with our farmers so they are aware of the process and the timeline and all the components. And to date, we've conserved over 3,200 acres and over 30 farms, and we've got many more in our pipeline here in Western Washington Protect, and we get calls every day to do more work here in Washington.
And of course, then the hard part begins. You got to find young farmers who want to take
Correct.
on the land, right?
That's
So-
that's gotta
That's
be
right.
that's gotta be the hardest challenge, is to find young people who want to dedicate themselves to that life.
That's right. And we know, we're aware of, and we talk to farmers who are interested in farming, people who come from wonderful training programs like up at Viva Farms or through the WSU programs. So there are people who want to farm. Accessing land is the number one barrier of new farmers due to affordability and providing and having access to longer term leases.
All right.
And so that really helps people get their feet on the ground and be able to start investing in their business and in the land.
All right.
So that's the barrier that we're challenged by.
We've been talking with Washington Farmland Trust Executive Director Melissa Campbell. Thank you for joining us. We're going to jump into peaches and plums when we come back on Cairo 97.3 FM.
Thank you, Melissa.
Melissa, awesome.
Thank you, Pamela. Good to
Appreciate
talk with
you.
you all. I
Bye.
appreciate you. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
She's messed up in the head. She fell on her head as a young girl.
Take this and you put a little ice cream on top.
It
Be like
needs-
freaking
yeah, it
delicious.
needs
A,
like
a chicken attacked her at a young age, and she's never been.
It needs like a quart of heavy cream on it.
If you
No.
if you had taken a cup of sour cream and stirred it in, well, we're going to talk about this.
It's really good. You know what's really good? The plum.
The plum is really
They
good,
look-
That's why I didn't want
and it's so pretty, isn't it? It makes
plums are-
beautiful jam too.
The plums are really, really delicious. Yeah. What is that?
This is what Pam said about her cake.
utter failure.
She is utterly wrong.
By the way, although you should do a cow with some.
Yeah.
I gotta learn how to
cow with
Yeah.
It's
draw
auto.
some udders.
It is. You are not a good critic on that. This is delicious.
I wanted moist goldenness.
Just put some olive oil in there. Put some butter. Put some fat. That's all. A little bit.
And we're back in the Hot Stove Society kitchen on Cairo. I'm Tom Douglas.
And I'm Thierry Roturo, the chef in the hat.
We're joined in the studio today by Pamela, our producer, and Sean, our technical director. And we're going to talk peaches and plums because, again, from our particular farm, we're getting just the most gorgeous Santa Rosa plums right now. I'm so used to plums just not having a whole lot going on.
Oh, these are
These are really something. And
They're
this
tart,
is,
they're sweet, they're beautiful.
third or fourth year, and the bakery turns about 400 pounds of this into jam for Lola for the next few months to serve on our toast in the morning.
I must say they are scrumptious. They have an incredible plum flavor, which
Yeah,
the one you're talking about is probably the Italian plum, which you find everywhere. I mean, on sidewalks everywhere in
Yeah.
the city. And it's true that they do have high water content, not quite as much depth in the flavor.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit, but these are
the Santa Rosa
These are
variety.
why you would
and,
love
we only
plum.
have one of these trees, but it's very productive.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Pamela, when you brought in a peach and plum cake that I'm assuming you made out of Jackie's stone fruit that she
Yep.
brought over, and you came in with this disastrous look on your face and a sign that really was a commentary on your negativity, which you called your cake an utter failure.
Yes.
And I've been watching Chef Thierry over here eat slice after slice, saying, "This is delicious. This is delicious.
Exactly.
I can't believe you said that. This is delicious."
It is.
And I know I'm just saying it like you because
I said it. I didn't say it like that. Quite.
anyway. So what happened, and why do you think it's bad? And what Chef Thierry, I'm assuming, is going to have an idea of how to fix what you don't like about it.
I had a vision of that very moist, almost oily yellow cake in my brain.
So if I were to put a picture to it, like a pineapple upside down base
Yes,
cake,
more like that.
more sweet.
Sweet and
Or like an olive oil cake.
And
like
so
an
what is
olive
the
oil.
base of this cake? It tastes nutty to me.
Well, the seasonings they called for were all fall, like cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg. I had cinnamon, and it has a little Chinese 12 spice from Rub would love in the
okay.
batter.
So,
But you were supposed to do that step of creaming your warm butter
Yeah.
and getting it fluffy with the egg and the sugar, and
Yeah.
then add the flour mixture.
did you do
And
that?
yes,
Okay.
and the recipe said be warned because it's going to be a very stiff dough. And it was stiff into a springform pan, and then just the sliced peaches and plums on top. And it was called for 70 minutes at 350,
Oh.
and I think it just got dried out.
No,
So I don't think so.
I don't
Personally,
think. I think that's
the cake
exactly
is-
what they want.
I think the cake is delicious, and I
Yeah.
think they're probably going for that. Chef, so you hear what she's saying. She wants this to turn out more moist,
So
but you don't want to wreck the recipe while you're doing this, right? Because the
Correct.
whole top 2/3 of the cake is perfectly delicious.
So in your eggs, butter, sugar mixture, after it's fluffed up, before you put the flour in, add a 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
Whoa.
You'll have the most beautiful, moist, greasy finger cake you're looking
Yes,
for.
that's
3 tablespoons only.
Yeah, I
for-
think
for
I
that
that's
think
big a
enough to
cake?
make a difference
how much
in this.
flour you have in here.
I think it was a cup and 3/4.
Okay, 4 tablespoons.
Okay.
I mean, you don't need that much to. I mean, you look at your cake. You're not that far off in terms of what you're looking for. All you need to do is add some fat. So
And
butter.
so the fat won't. So just to play devil's advocate a
Sure.
little bit, the fat won't throw off the base mixture enough to worry about, where it might separate or it might.
No, not if you mix it if you mix it, once you've mixed your sugar, your eggs, and
Once you've creamed it.
once you creamed all that, you add your olive oil and you cream it into it. It will be incorporated. And then the flour is going to bind the whole thing together. So that's why you do the flour at the end.
I am going to try again because I'm
But-
craving
and
that
if you don't,
flavor.
Yeah.
if you want to go a different way, you can just take some butter, melt it down, not hot, but melt the butter down, clarified basically, and then pour it when it's just room temp, not hot, into your batter after you mix your sugar and your eggs together. You'll have the same thing. You'll have a buttery dough.
Thank you.
So does this have any dairy in it at all?
But just the butter.
So just the butter, right? So to me, I would use sour cream instead.
Mm-hmm.
I would just take a half a cup or even more, 3/4 of a cup of sour cream and stir that into your flour and butter mixture. And I think
The
that'll
th-
give you plenty of fat.
The thing of the sour cream, though, it's gonna take longer to cook because sour cream is very wet. So that's the difference between putting fat versus putting sour cream. Sour cream is fat too, but it's got lots of water content, so it's gonna take longer to cook. You might have a cake a bit raw in the middle, not raw, but you know how it gets really wet in the middle. You might have that phenomenon with the sour cream. But again,
So what else could you use in that scenario? You could just use mascarpone, which is basically
same
drained
kind.
sour cream, right?
Right, right.
Essentially. So that might be a
Creme
better
fraiche is
cream
also a good
cheese
one.
might work.
Creme fraiche is good because it's got acid to it.
I
or
love
it's
the
got that
tang of creme
it's got the
fraiche.
tang, so you could get that into that. This is plenty sweet. So those plums are very, very sweet, and the peach too. So, I mean, I don't know why you would call this a failure. This is not a failure. I mean, I've seen failure that does
What
not
book
look
did
like
you
that.
get this out of? Because it's not in my book.
It was a Martha
You
Stewart
should
recipe.
say, I've cooked every recipe in that book.
Do you think peaches and plums lend themselves to crumbles and crisps,
Of
or are
course.
they
Oh, yeah.
are they too juicy?
No, that's what crisp is all about. That's what I love about a crisp.
It's
It's-
just the
it's-
fruitiness
It's
of
fruit,
it.
stewed, and the topping. It's all about that. You make a good topping, and
To me, on a crisp or a galette, where you just kind of fold the side of the pie dough up. Almost always, to me, I think the instinct for people is to serve it, before it cools down out of the oven, and it's always hasn't set yet,
Right.
right? Because you have to let the natural pectin of the fruit work, Sometimes people add a little cornstarch or a little flour. You have to let that work.
Correct.
And if you don't bring it up to where it's bubbling a little bit, that's not going to incorporate. Your flour is going to
not
never
gonna
do
be
its
cooked,
job.
yeah.
It's not going to be cooked. And so it's, again, I know it's against instinct, but cook your tart or your whatever that is in the morning. Jackie and I fight about this all the time. She always wants to put it in right when we sit down for dinner so it comes out hot. Well, it just doesn't have time to
It's
set.
so much better if you just flash it in the oven
Yeah.
after it's been cooked for a long time. You flash it, heat. People are afraid, or they don't. A lot of people at home don't get that concept of rewarming stuff like we do in many other places. You let your goods rest, you let them be, and then you warm it up in the oven at 350 degrees for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
A galette is going to take 2 minutes, and it's going to be warm.
But it's already done its work
Correct.
in the morning. It's already set. It's already ready to go. And it doesn't re-liquefy then when
Correct.
you go to warm it back up.
And you'll
But
keep
it's a
that
common
crispiness.
mistake. It's a very
Yeah.
common mistake, I think.
Yeah.
And it's the same way when you cut into a hot pie right out of the oven and, oh, it's just soup, right? Your peaches haven't set or anything like that. Cherry pie, same thing. It's just soup. And until it cools off and does all its work. Think about a loaf of bread. When you
Correct.
pull a hot loaf of bread out of the oven, if you cut it right away, what happens?
Paste.
It's paste in the center because your knife tears at it. It's just gross. Part of the cooking process is the 4 or 5 hours that it takes to cool down.
Correct.
And that's all part of the cure on that bread. So it's the same thing with a crisp or a crumble or
Yeah, the recipe
me.
does not stop at when you take it out of the oven. The recipe stops when your product has reached room temperature for a while. So that's the difference. You know, many people will take the pie, like you said, they take the pie out of the oven. And they think
it
that's
looks
the end
so
of the
good.
recipe.
Well, they look so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to cut into it.
But that's the biggest mistake you can make. Same with the cake, same with bread, same with anything that's baked dough. You just let it sit, let it rest,
And most importantly on plums and peaches and cherries.
because it's very wet.
Because they're very juicy. Yeah. So.
The next day when it's sitting out on the counter
Mm.
and you go by
Yeah,
with a
that's
spoon,
right, yeah.
and that's when it tastes
Yeah,
best.
exactly.
When did you
Next
bake this?
10:30 last night.
You probably were
Part of the
mad. That's why you
problem.
think it's a mess. It's beautiful.
And did you cut it right away?
No.
You cut it this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally fine.
Well, there's all these sorts of things to do with perfect peaches and perfect plums right now. To me, one of the things that I really like when I'm making fruit pies is I'll put full grinds of black pepper in my fruit pies just to kind of brighten the flavor and to it just perks it a little bit.
Sure.
So it's another part of balancing it out.
It gives a little heat and it gives a little
Yeah, I'm not
crunch.
going for
And
the heat so much, but I'm going for the. It's like using a little bit of Tabasco in a recipe, right? It
Right.
doesn't. You're not using it for the heat. You're using it for the perk.
right.
So that's what I like to do.
Good idea.
I like to do.
Good idea, Tom.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. It's almost time for your food for thought tasty trivia challenge brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs. They're so delicious, made right out in Ballard at my warehouse and factory in Ballard. So you don't want to
And
miss
they're fresh
this.
right now.
And they're fresh right now. You don't want to miss this. I mean, they really are so fresh right now because we can't keep them up, can't keep up this time of year. And so we're just going as fast as we can go. So it's a beautiful thing. Okay, when we come back, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, Cairo Radio, 97.3 FM. That was enthusiastic.
That's good.
Oh, Carol, this is an adorable trivia that Carol invented.
She invented it?
She gave it a very strong theme.
But I would put a timer on.
For sure.
Take all afternoon.
Well, yeah, I
Have
would
it on
put I
low.
would put a timer on for like 2:00 in the afternoon, because if it goes away, I'm gonna eat the whole cake. Just
Well, the plums are incredible.
they're very, very delicious. I'm amazed. Santa Rosa. I think I'm gonna put a plum tree in my house. Oh my God.
The they're a deep garnet color.
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
is
see
just
that. It's
so
like, and how big is the tree? Is it a normal size tree or is it a dwarf?
It's a dwarf.
And if it's like my apple tree, my dwarf tree is like this
Oh,
tall,
it's a little bigger than that.
and it gives me like hundreds of apples.
Mm.
Like, but I'm gonna buy a balloon for next year because I finally heard some good story about, all my apples have a hole in it. Like the birds come and pick the damn apple, and they only make one hole. I don't know why, but so all the apples have holes in it. I'm like,
So you're getting
somebody
a
told me
balloon?
you go online and you buy those. The blueberry farm told me that you buy those balloon. It's like $5. You buy a bag of balloon. It's got faces on it, and you hang them above the tree. Birds will not come to your tree.
Scares them away.
Yeah,
A balloon.
Yeah, like a scarecrow kind of video. I'm like, I'm spending the $5.
Yeah, why not?
Worth it.
How you feeling, Sean?
Pretty good.
Strong.
Not too bad.
We're going to cut you down to size today, sir.
Yeah, I need it.
Gee, talking trash again.
I need to be brought down a notch.
You got yourself on camera?
I don't know.
Come on, get yourself on camera.
Well,
We're on YouTube. They have to
I know, but I can't operate the cameras and be on the microphone.
right there.
That one's.
It's static. You don't need to operate it. Just turn it on.
I know, but
He's
Your
saying
switch.
no.
He's just like, Tom's gonna turn it on. By the way, if you're upside down, you know why.
You're part of the team.
No,
come back there. This camera's really.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
that's a nice story. That's a nice story. But we're not buying. You've been using that camera every week, and suddenly
I
it
know.
doesn't
All of
work.
a sudden, oh, doesn't work.
It's so strange. The problem is he can be the only one who makes it not work, and we wouldn't know.
All right, so we're going to bring you around the Terry's mic when it's your turn.
All right.
It's the Hot Stove Society show. We're so thankful that you've been with us for the whole 2 hours. We love that. Hopefully you're having a good time like we are here in the studio, which we do every week. It's a fun 2 hours of our week, isn't it, Chef?
Absolutely.
Food for Thought Tasty Trivia is brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs, my very own line of sauces, rubs, and mustards that can be found all over the country. You know, we're in about 5,000 different retail locations. Did you know that?
That's a lot of inventory.
Yeah. Specialty food stores and meat and seafood shops alike, Princess Seafoods in Fort Bragg, California, Aquarius Fish in Salt Lake City, Utah, or the Butcher Block with locations in all throughout Las Vegas and Nevada. They all carry our
You
product.
are everywhere.
A&J's in Phoenix. And of course, locally, Bartell's is running a little ad on their website for it right now with the ancho molasses barbecue sauce. So we're very proud of our products. Get out and try one of these days, or we might not be able to do trivia anymore.
We won't be able to give it away.
Pamela, how do people play this game? And since Sean's on the team and he's playing, who's going to win a prize? Do we have somebody listening on YouTube or watching?
Carol's going to win the prize because she wrote the trivia, but I'm not going to give her Rub with Love. I'm going to give
Carol
her.
can't win the prize. Committee
beautiful-
members cannot win. We need a
Yes.
listener.
got
Okay,
a new
listeners,
listener who
email
just-
Pamela
He
because
just chimed in and they were like, "This is awesome."
yeah,
I could. reach
Okay,
out, see
Sean's going to pick a listener.
somebody
right?
on our YouTube channel.
Yes,
Oh.
that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
All right. All right.
So we have a new listener, a new YouTube viewer from the South that's excited about the show.
Okay.
And I'm
Hey,
Jones.
Adam, you're the winner. Send us your address so I can send you a prize.
Pamela H at tomdouglas.com.
Thank you,
You're
Adam.
going to get emails from like 18 Adam Joneses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll have.
I'm actually
I
sending
love
one
going
right
to
now. Can I get
All
one
right,
of each
how do
of
we
the
play?
rub?
5 questions that Carol wrote, and they're all foods that start with the letter O. Oh,
Oh,
this
wow.
is a
Orange.
good.
You would think
thing.
that she would wait for October for this quiz.
Ottery.
But it just stretches on and on. There's
That would be an otter disaster.
but we always start with Mr. Otero.
I'll stop. Go ahead. Watch
So
me.
remember foods that start with O.
Watch me. First word I'm going to say tea something.
Name the Italian classic veal dish topped with gremolata.
Ossobuco.
Yes. This cookie was
Which is a veal shank, by the way.
Correct.
That's braised.
created by Nabisco in 1912 and is
Oreo.
said to be Milk's favorite
Carol,
cookie.
really, Carol.
What is the name of the cocktail made of whiskey, bitters, and a sugar cube?
Larry? No, I'm sorry. I know this on top of it.
I don't think you do.
No? Wait. Brandy, sugar,
No, whiskey.
Whiskey,
whiskey.
bitters, sugar cube.
I don't know. You don't think I know?
You're a fashionista,
Usually
aren't you?
has a orange garnish.
You're a fashionista, aren't you?
Oh, that's you're playing a word on me. A fashionista.
Old
Old
fashioned.
fashioned.
Oh
Old-fashioned.
my
Yeah.
God.
Oh my
How much
God.
more could I have
One of my
given
favorite
you?
drinks on top of
How
it.
much more could I have given you? That's a no-go, buddy.
That's a no.
That's a minus
Another
a point.
name for the organs and discarded pieces during butchering.
Awful.
Yes. And finally,
Some people think they are awful.
name the
Most people do.
Baltimore seafood seasoning in
Oreo.
the yellow.
Oreos. Oreos.
You didn't listen to the question, Chef.
The Baltimore team.
Seafood seasoning.
Never mind.
In the yellow.
I thought he was
tin.
going to talk about the baseball team.
Yellow. Tin.
Yes, I have one in my cupboard. I'm trying to remember
a
the
little
name.
bit like Elliot Bay.
Yeah. Oh, Old Bay. Thank you, Tom.
God, I really have to spoon feed this guy.
I don't know. Should we give him?
Old Bay seasoning. Yes, I got
Yes.
one in my cupboard. I must say I don't use it very often, but
What's the canned pasta we should make them eat for lunch? Remember the little O's?
Spaghetti O's.
Spaghetti O's.
Oh,
we should
yeah.
make you eat for lunch after doing such a.
All right, Sean
would,
McFadden, are you ready
me
to
to-
follow that incredible
Oh, yeah,
effort?
come over here.
Yeah, come on over so people can see your pretty face. All right, Sean is our technical producer.
Go, Sean. This herb of the mint family is used most often in Italian and Greek dishes. Starting with an O.
Oregano?
Yay!
Wow.
In
How did you get that?
Decades of cooking.
In 1883, a lunch meat company was started in Chicago by two German immigrants. This company has become synonymous with hot dogs and bologna. Name this company that
Does he have to
starts
sing the
with an
song
O.
too? Though?
Oscar Mayer.
You,
I'll sing. the song
you
for-
are rocking it. Clementine, bergamot, and navel are what types of fruit?
Orange. I
Yep.
feel like these questions are a little too easy.
no. I want you to get
Fair, fair.
complete score. Name the chocolate milk flavoring introduced in 1904.
Is it
Ovaltine.
really chocolate?
Ovaltine.
Chocolate flavored.
Ovaltine.
And 5. What is the name of the dish made of beaten eggs, fried in butter, and often folded? With an O.
Da, 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 da.
Eggs.
5, 4, 3, 2,
know.
1. You.
Omelets.
Wow. Maybe they weren't too easy.
I
all right,
think
well.
you beat
Way to
Carrie,
go, Carol.
though.
You stumped him.
Oh, did you have 4 too?
yeah.
Okay.
My God, he's so tall.
I gave,
Tom Douglas.
I gave him all the ones he got.
Yeah, exactly.
This common breakfast cereal served hot is thought to reduce the risk of heart disease.
I don't believe it because it makes me glycemic when I eat it. It does. It gives me the jitters. Oatmeal.
Oatmeal, correct. Nyon, galleta, and picholine are types of what garnish or snack?
Olives.
Yes. The seed pod This seed pod is often found in Caribbean or Southern cooking.
Could be okra.
Yes. This Carol, you're going too easy on him. This root vegetable / bulb is found around the world in many colors and sizes.
You know, Julia Childs said about that, right? I
No,
think
I don't
she
know.
said, I can't believe there would be a civilization without it.
Oh, that's right. Without an onion.
Without onions. This tea is made from the Camellia sinensis plant and is a great middle ground between black and green teas.
This is a dynamic question, and I'm very excited to answer it. Oolong.
Yay!
Tom Douglas is the winner and is sending the prize to Adam.
Adam Jones, congratulations. Not only do I now have to buy the prize, but now I have to, Chef Terry has to ship it.
That's right.
Hopefully you live very far away.
Hopefully you don't live in Florida.
If you want to be part of the show, you can watch the taping on YouTube at Tom Douglas and Company, or buy a ticket to come to the show in person, hang out with us, and have a really good time, and tell Pamela how good her cake is. That's at hotstovesociety.com. You're listening to us on Cairo, of course, and the show is produced by Pamela Hinckley, sound and production by Sean McFadden, and our editor is Sean Don't Call Me Del Torre. Remember, if you miss any episode of our Hot Stove Society show on Cairo, you can listen live via podcast. I guess it wouldn't be live. Listen via podcast. Just subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app.
Thanks for listening and have a great weekend.
Quiet on the set.
So that's for the first time. No, for the first time that cracks me up. It's like you're talking to the plates.
Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And I'm Terry Roturo, the chef in the hat.
This afternoon on the Hot Stove Society show, we talk about so many things, including it's tomato season, celebrate their succulent ripeness, Washington farmland, trust, don't throw away those citrus peels. They're valuable, and our favorite dessert ideas for plums and peaches.
That was a professional.
Quality job there.
Oh, you forget, eat like an Italian cold rice salad.